Hey everybody, it's Benjamin here at the Centaur Fragrance channel. Thank you so much for stopping by today. Well, today we're going to have a little bit of a talk, a little bit of some of my thoughts. No matter who you are, a fragrance lover, a fragrance enthusiast, a fragrance aficionado, a designer lover, a mass appealing lover, a beast mode lover, no matter who you are, I think that maybe this is a good discussion for the soul. This is all from the heart, and I'm honestly not sure what exactly everything I'm going to say right now, but I want to kind of express some of my thoughts and feelings about the fragrance community as just a whole. This is not going to be a negative video. All of these types of videos, they're really overtly positive or just overtly negative. This is just some food for thought, and I really just have some of these things on my mind. Honestly, for me as a fragrance reviewer, recently I've been kind of feeling like I'm in a fragrance limbo. I don't know where I belong in the fragrance community. On one hand, there are a few good fragrance reviewers who are still doing individual reviews. They're still trying to help people find great fragrances and save some money, or find the artistic, the niche fragrances, find those kinds of things out there. But they're also there's more and more fragrance reviewers that are shifting towards top 10 list. And they're shifting towards making reviews of all the designer fragrances that are at the mall and those kinds of things, and nothing is wrong with that at all. There's a big market for it. There's a lot of people out there in the world who what they hear about on the advertisements on the TV is the new Dior, the new Chanel, the new Versace, the new Gucci, and they want to know a little bit more information about it. So us as reviewers can provide a lot of helpful information for consumers out there, being, sharing information and helping them understand what the fragrance is and what they're getting their hands on and their noses into. So, what my purpose of making this video today is just to maybe talk about, I don't know, togetherness as a fragrance community. Y'all know that controversy sparks up here and there. There's always going to be drama. Some people dislike the drama. Some people do playful, teasing. You know, they kind of just try to poke people's buttons just for fun. And there are some people who genuinely actually have fragrance fights, and some people who actually seem to like those controversies and battles. And honestly, this is on my mind because recently there's a lot that's been happening in the background. I don't know all the details, but Tune Reviews recently took down his channel, and Agnes Eva did. And, there's just some other stuff here and there that's been popping up. And these are people as a fragrance reviewer, and being on YouTube, you don't know these people, in their daily lives. You don't know them personally or intimately, but you do care about them. And I have had conversations with some of these people that seem to come and go. Fragrance Runner is kind of gone now. I haven't seen him upload in a while. And there's some people who are kind of maybe slowing down their content. I don't know if they're just taking hiatuses, or, if they're actually leaving the fragrance reviewing kind of scene. So it seems like there are a lot of fragrance reviewers who are, I don't know, discouraged by the recent YouTube algorithm, the YouTube kind of thing. I don't know if we can entirely blame it on the algorithm. There probably is some favoritism towards top 10 list. I wouldn't be amazed if YouTube really has favoritism towards those top 10 lists. But I think that we do have to realize that the mass majority of people want to hear about designer fragrances. They want to hear about compliments, and they want to hear about what's mass appealing. So that's kind of something that might be discouraging to some reviewers. Of course, me personally speaking, I want to grow as a fragrance reviewer. I'm not discouraged. I'm not really speaking about myself. For me personally, I do want to grow. Of course, I wish I would grow faster, but I realize that I'm not going to be the biggest YouTuber in the world if I focus on niche content, niche and artistic fragrances and things that less people know about. And, getting a little bit more in detail is not going to appeal to the masses and isn't the most searched, the most popular thing out there. So that doesn't bother me as much. I did have a small phase where I was kind of pining and desiring that maybe there would be, maybe there was a niche world, maybe from Fragrantica or maybe somewhere else, Saflarbon, and some of those people who would get behind me and support me because I was reviewing more indie fragrances and more niche fragrances and all those good things. Um, but of course that didn't happen, and I just came to the realization that this YouTube channel is more of a hobby than a business. And you know I think that's maybe one of the problems and one of the things that discourages people in the modern day fragrance community limbo. um, it's everybody wants to have success. Everybody wants to get something, for their work, get something in return. Some people just want friendship, they want community. Some people are just happy to, make one friend and influence just one person to make a bet, save some money, or make somebody have a good day because they smell nice. Some people are on YouTube to have further outreach, maybe to become an icon, a celebrity, and everything else in between. So there's different motivations for different fragrance lovers. And I think that maybe I feel, I don't know, a little bit isolated or a little bit in limbo because it's hard to understand where everybody is. It's like, are they, I'm a fragrance reviewer and I do share fragrances that are sent to me, but I guess you could call me an influencer, but I get into the nitty gritty of the details and the fragrances, and I'm not reviewing and focusing and on the most popular things. So, if I was doing top 10 list every day, always talking about the most popular fragrances like Aventus and Bleu de Chanel and Sauvage, you know, that would be a different story, but that's not what I'm doing. It's hard to understand where other people are coming from. Um, of course, on YouTube, there's not really a way for you to get transparency about who some of these fragrance reviewers are, and you're not always going to be the best friends with everybody. You're not going to get to know everybody. They're pressed for time. And you're not going to get to know everybody on a personal level. And maybe I don't know what I'm trying to figure out how to say this. Maybe I do wish that there was a little bit more community. There are tag videos, which are fantastic. We build a lot of friendship through tags. And collaborations are fun, and I do collaborations and I do shout outs. But that's mostly the biggest kind of community that I see. I try to reach out and I try to make friends, and I comment and I subscribe to almost every fragrance reviewer that I can ever find. But I reach out to a lot of fragrance reviewers and I try to make friends with them. I try to say hello, get to know them. I try to get interested and maybe invested in what they're interested in. And I don't see that there is a lot of that in the fragrance community. I don't see a lot of fragrance reviewers trying to connect and befriend other fragrance reviewers. And maybe I'm just not seeing everything. It's a wide world, and I don't know what everybody does out there. But it seems like everybody's a little bit isolated from one another, and there's not a lot of chit chatting. Uh, you know, Instagram or Facebook. All these fragrance reviewers. Some people are really good friends, and they even have each other's phone numbers. And maybe I just like to do things more on the public basis. And there's people who I've befriended who have just ghosted me and disappeared, and they've acted real odd and fishy over, eventually, if they find that there's something about me maybe they don't like, outside of fragrance. We all have different lifestyles and different personalities, and I've had some people treat me like that, and I thought it was strange. Um, I don't know. I don't really know if there is a big point to this video. But I hope that does come from this video, and I hope that what people do understand is that there's a lot of good that we still can do in the fragrance community. Yes, there are a lot of fragrance reviewers popping up here and there. There are some people who are discouraged, saying that there's not really any real fragrance reviewers anymore. The reason why a lot of them are disappearing, once again, I'll say it, it's because It's just because they're starting to realize that if they're playing this YouTube game, that the mass appealing fragrances, that the compliment getters, the beast modes, and talking about the designer fragrances probably is getting the majority, or the vast majority of the views. And that can be really disheartening if you put your work and your soul into reviewing some fragrances and with editing. Some people put out some fantastic work, some almost, almost cinema quality content with their editing and the quality of it all, and they just don't get very much views. And somebody can do a top 10 list and kind of regurgitate the same fragrances that everybody really knows, but the mass majority of people maybe don't know about them and want to hear about them, so they get a ridiculous amount of views. So I'm not sure if that's the real motivation. I'm not sure if that's really the case, but there seems to be more and more people coming into the fragrance community who are really kind of following the trend. And I guess that I guess that's perfectly normal. I guess it's not normal for somebody like me and other fragrance reviewers who do individual reviews, who review indie and niche and obscure fragrances. I guess it's that that's the kind of the road less traveled. It's kind of the harder thing to do. It's a lot. Maybe it's more work, or it's not as satisfying. I really don't know what's going on. So, anyways, I hope that everybody else feels that we can be friends. That there is some community. I hope that there is community in the fragrance world. And if you ever need a friend in the fragrance community, if you ever want a friend, I'm here for you. I'm a fragrance enthusiast. I'm a fragrance lover, and I'm here on YouTube to share the passion of fragrances. I'm not here to make a top 10 list every day and, try to soak up as many views as possible by doing so. Of course, if I ever, by magic, if the YouTube gods decide to shine their light upon me, and they like my personality and they like who I am, if people really fall in love with me as a personality, I mean, I would absolutely love that. But I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. But who knows? Maybe it'll happen. Anyways, nothing's wrong with being popular. Nothing's wrong with getting views. Nothing is wrong with talking about mass appealing fragrances, or whatever fragrances you're into. Hey, I mean, if you're a reviewer who just wants to talk about Bath and Body Works, or I don't know, whatever else is out there, Axe body spray, I mean, you can do it. It's not going to offend me or bother me. Um, anyways, I hope that we do come together. This is really an invitation video. I hope that we all do come together in a bigger way. That we have more friendship. We care about each other a little bit more. We understand each other a little bit more, and we all just support each other a little bit more. I know that I comment on an awful lot of reviewers' channels and support them and enjoy their content, and sometimes I feel like I don't receive much of that back. And maybe that's one of the big reasons why I made this video today. I don't feel like I get as much love in return as I give. So, I don't know. That's just some of my feelings. Anyways, I'll see all my friends. This is kind of my thoughts. Let me know in the comment section below. What do you think about the fragrance community? Do you think that there is enough community? Do you think people are being good enough friends with each other? Do you really dislike the way the fragrance community is going? Do you like the way it's going? What do you think about these people with the drama and people shutting down their channels? What do you think about some of what's been going on? I look forward to hearing your thoughts, your opinions, and your feelings. I really do appreciate that a lot, and I appreciate the friendship and the love that's been given to me. The fragrance community and the fragrance world, although not perfect by any means, has meant a lot to me and has done a lot of good for me in my life. So I really do appreciate that. Anyways, I'll see y'all, my friends. This is the Centaur Fragrance Channel. This is Benjamin. Y'all know who I am. And I'll see y'all next time. Peace out. Wear what you love. Rock what you got. And you got a friend in me. So I'll see you next time, my friends. And bye.